Shefsky here, and welcome to Fantasy House. Every week I have a different guest on, and they take us through a journey through their surreal fantasy house. It's wild. It's so much fun. It's an imagination experience for adults. It's therapeutic for Jon Shefsky, the host. It's just a good time in general. And it's like, you know, you watch HGTV and you're like, this is pretty good, but they need like a stoner version of HGTV. They need a trippy version of HGTV. It's just a little bit more, you know, a little bit more rated, unrated, or whatever they call it, NC-17, and a little bit just more like, ooh, Rick and Morty weird. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's what this podcast is. And it's brought to you by me, Jon Shefsky, the only Southern California realtor after the great biblical events. And don't worry, guys. I can handle it all. Hit me up if you want to talk about houses, buying them, selling them, just living in them, imagining them. I'm here. Multifamily, apartment buildings. I love them. I always love to talk about those. You guys can send me messages at fantasyhousepodcast@gmail.com, or you can go on my Instagram, Jon Shefsky, JONSHEFSKY. Let's get this episode going. This is a fun one, as they always are. My buddy Mike Holmes is here. He's a writer, comedian, awesome dude, and his fantasy house is really fun. And we had a really good time riffing. He came up with some cool tech. I'm excited. All right, you guys. In the words of the great Angelo Bowers, let us do this.
I'm a stand-up comedian. I'm a writer. I am a copywriter.
You copy a lot of stuff.
I do write. I copyright.
What is a copywriter?
A copywriter writes copy.
Okay, for commercials?
I do it for marketing, for digital, social media marketing.
Okay.
I've been doing it for like almost 10 years now, part-time.
Dude, I remember when you got your first gig.
Yeah, my first gig for Hungry Man.
Yeah, Hungry Man.
Yeah, dude. So yeah, Hungry Man led to 10 years of work.
Wait,
believe it or not.
You got to tell listeners, because I've told your story to a couple people over the years about like, dude, we're just doing everything out here in LA. Like my buddy,
I got it through another comic, Dan Bialek, and this advertising agency, digital marketing agency, reached out to him, and they were looking for comedians to run the social media pages for this campaign for Hungry Man TV dinners.
Everyone knows Hungry Man.
The premise of the campaign was that Genghis Khan, Leonardo da Vinci, and Michelangelo, I think.
Is that all the Ninja Turtles?
No, Davy Crockett. It was Davy Crockett.
Yeah, Davy Crockett.
It was Davy Crockett, Leonardo da Vinci, Genghis Khan. Traveled through time via time-traveling freezers where they came to present-day America.
You say time-traveling freezers?
They have time-traveling freezers, of course. They discovered Hungry Man TV dinners, became obsessed with them, and then created social media pages to promote their love of Hungry Man TV dinners. That was an ad campaign that got sold.
I just love the
tens of thousands of dollars.
Genghis Khan was in there, like, as if anyone would believe that he would care about microwave meals. He has like 25,000
Genghis
kids.
Khan, who they actually made videos for this whole little story that they wrote, and Asterios played Genghis Khan. Which,
dude,
you know, because a Greek Asterios as Genghis. Yeah, it was great. Chris Fairbanks was Davy Crockett.
That's right.
And then I wrote for this thing for like 3 months and just would write tweets and Facebook posts in the voice of Davy Crockett.
Did they ever tell you like how their stats, like what their metrics were?
Oh yeah, I would come in and they would be like, Mike, we need to talk to you. Hungry Davy isn't doing as well as Hungry Genghis and Hungry Da Vinci. What do you think we can do to kind of, is there a sporting event? Because that was the thing. Hungry Davy really got into sports, I guess. And so I did that for like 3 months, and then Hungry Man realized what kind of terrible ad campaign they had. So they pulled the plug on it. But then that agency kept bringing me around to do other stuff. And yeah, 10 years later,
still rocking
a couple different agencies. Yeah. So I mostly do like TV shows, movies now, because that's a lot of what the work here in Hollywood is. So
To promote it in social media?
Yeah. So like, they'll post like a little mini trailer on like, so right now I'm doing the DVR or the DVD digital release of Rambo is what I've been working on this week. So yeah, we'll post a little Rambo trailer, and then it'll have to have some sort of copy that goes with it describing what is in the trailer. And
You're the guy doing that.
I'm the guy that does that.
People are like, what's he doing? That's the guy that's doing. That's what Mike's doing.
What I'm doing. I'm writing tweets for TV shows and movies.
You're tweeting for the man.
So I'm tweeting for the man. Yeah, I'm like Hollywood adjacent. It's like almost working on TV shows and movies.
I would just be real vague about it. Like, that Rambo movie?
Yeah.
I worked on it.
Yeah, I did. New SpongeBob movie coming out. Worked on it.
Did it. I made that movie. You telling people?
Integral in that whole movie. I do that. And then I also bartend a couple nights a week at
the Hungry Man Bar. It's a Genghis Khan's bar.
It's a beer and bottle shop in Echo Park.
Oh, nice.
So
it's got to be.
It's a super chill. It's a good bartending gig.
Yeah.
So I do that too.
What's your favorite thing to do there when you're bartending? Do you do the cocktail thing where you throw a bottle up in the air?
No, I'm maybe like, I do a move I call the flight attendant, and that's where like, because if I open 2 cans of beer at the same time.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Call that the flight attendant. That's about as fancy as I get.
That's great. So anyone asks you, come on, do something. You're like, it's called the flight attendant. Then you just pour the beer on their head. Fucktard. Oh,
you're sitting in the exit row. You should leave.
I do the flight marshal or whatever. Get off this plane. You're under arrest. I don't even know what that meant. Oh, I need some riff sauce, a.k.a. Can you please open 2 beers for me? Okay. What else is going on?
Playing a lot of golf lately.
Oh,
got back into golf.
Got back. I didn't know you ever got out of golf.
I took like 10 years off when I was a poor comedian in my 20s and 30s, early 30s. And I finally got talked back into playing and went out and played and got addicted again. And
it's a great sport, right? I don't
It's
play
frustrating.
It,
it's expensive, but it's nice. And you get out, you're not sitting in front of a computer for a couple hours.
The best things in life are frustrating and expensive. So, dude, I don't even know how to play golf, but dude, it's a beautiful sport. I mean, I do think of whenever I've been on a golf course, I think of George Carlin making fun of golf courses in the back of my head. But my God,
what is the bit?
He just has a whole bit about like he's just making fun of the wealthy, and he's like we should turn like all golf courses in America into like homeless like refugee camps or something like that. Just one of his antagonists like upset George Carlin like how can I piss everyone off? And it makes me
homeless on the golf course.
There you go, you fucking asshole. Like I don't know, just that funny George Carlin, East Coast anger.
Yeah.
But my brother's super into golf, and so I've been on the courses with him. But I'm horrible at golfing.
This one thing I didn't play. I lived out here for 11 years, and I didn't start playing until like the last 6 months. So it's been cool to just to go out and explore Southern California via golf courses.
Do you drink while you do it, or what do you do to?
A little bit, yeah, not too much. I mean, sometimes I do too much, and that never goes well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've had some bad back nines, where I thought I could get loose with like 2 or 3 beers on the front nine. No, bad idea. You need to be sober.
Yeah.
Or like 1 beer.
You got to focus. Mm-hmm. 1 beer. There was an I think it was a skate video or it was a surf video. Some sort of old cool counterculture video I remember watching in high school. And there was, I think it was for the Black Flies company, the sunglass company. And this one pro, how they would they were always so creative, right? They'd have like whatever the sport they were playing with, and they'd intercut that with like something else. They would like go golfing, and like he goes to his golf bag, if that's even what it's called. Mm-hmm. You're like, that's not what we call them.
No, it's a golf bag. It's a golf bag.
You unzip your sweatshirt, you have like a plaid vest on. You're like, that's not what they're called. Obviously, you haven't seen Happy Gilmore lately. That's not what we refer to those as. But like, he goes over to his golf bag in the golf cart, and like, you think he's about to pull a club out, but there's like a bong in the golf bag.
Amazing.
And it was so cool. I remember being like, whoa, this guy's bad. And he takes this insane bong rip. I mean, it's probably edited together because then he went and drove like, one of those crazy...
I played with guys a couple of weeks ago. They were just
ripping it,
yeah. Just casually, just setting bowls out on the green.
Yeah,
just like I don't know. It's legal in California. I don't know if it's legal on the golf course.
I mean, as far as physics go, it's legal. I mean, it's a plant that grows, right?
Well, yes.
So you just light it up, inhale, and see what happens. But
yeah, no, it was fun. They were pretty chill.
it seems like more of a frisbee golf thing to be
Definitely,
stoned
definitely
than a regular golf thing. But nonetheless, great sport, great folks.
great sport.
As long as you're not taking bong rips at the shooting range, stay focused, stay on it. Yeah, I don't know. I get super ripped. Or no, I don't get super ripped. I saw guys get super ripped at roller hockey when I was a kid. The older kids, like I was like 13, and like the 15 and 16-year-olds literally would bring like bongs and get super stoned at a hockey game. And I was just like, whoa, like they're super stoned.
That seems like you could play it pretty stoned, right?
I don't think. Well, first of all, everybody's brains are wired differently, right? So some people get really stoned and like they're affected, like, cool. I feel good. Some people get stoned like myself, and they're just like, my proprioception is gone. Right. I don't know which knee is which knee. Right. My hands.
Yeah. If you're like the focused stoner, I can see it.
The focused stoner. That'd be a cool name for a bar for you to work at. I'm a bartender at the Focused Stoner. Oh, dude. Should we get into your fantasy house? Should we go to that geographic location?
Okay. Yeah. Let's do it. Should I tell that story first?
Oh, yeah. Tell the story, dude.
Okay. So we're going to start talking about fantasy houses. That reminded me of a story from my childhood. When I was a kid in the 80s, I was sort of materialistic, as everyone in the 80s was.
80s, yeah. Come on,
and,
Charlie Sheen.
So I'm young, and I'm like, this is probably like, I'm 7 years old, 8 years old, I don't know, right around that age, 6, 7, 8. And my parents at the time lived in the house where my mom still lives now. It's a ranch house, 1-story, brown ranch house, very nice. Love it. Love the house. But at the time, for some reason, I thought like, the bigger the house, the better. And so I had friends that had like 2-story houses. And like, so I come home one day and I'm like, Mom and Dad, we got to get a bigger house.
You're proposing this to your parents?
Yeah, I'm proposing this to my parents as like, I'm like a first grader. And they were like, okay, you
go on.
You twerp.
Yeah.
They're like, well, okay, if you want us to have a bigger house, then you can buy us a bigger house, Mike. And so I was like, okay, no problem. I'll do that. And she was like, really? Because houses cost thousands and thousands of dollars. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'll save up. No problem. I read a book on savings. I know what you got to do.
Challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted. I will save up for this house. And so I understood that I needed to save a lot of money, more money than I was used to saving. So at the time I had a piggy bank, but I'm like, this is bigger than my piggy bank. This is big time. So I went into my parents' like cleaning supplies closet, and I got my mom's yellow mop bucket, and I took it, and I took a magic marker, and I wrote all over her bucket, new house, new house, new house, new house, all around the bucket. And then just like set it out in the living room for people to start donating.
Your first nonprofit was born.
Like, we're going to get this thing filled. I don't know what happens. I'm guessing a few weeks go by. I get like $1. So I just take the money. I spend it on candy.
Yep.
Last time I went home, last month, go into my parents' cleaning supplies closet, look on the floor. It's the yellow mop bucket.
Still there.
Still there. And in faded magic marker, you could still read, dude, new house, new house. So I got a magic marker, and I just wrote, new mop bucket, new mop. Because it's 30 years old, Mom. Get a new mop bucket.
Come on, Mom.
Come on, Mom.
Come on.
Can't even get a new house. Forget the new house. So, yeah, true story.
Just change your goals.
Mm-hmm.
If listeners, if you take anything from that, change your goals.
Change your goals.
Sometimes your goals are too big.
Right.
Sometimes you don't need a new house.
Sometimes you aim for the stars and settle for the horizon.
That's right. It's not so bad. Look how beautiful that horizon is. It's like a mop bucket. It's beautiful. So for your actual fantasy house, now let's get to the real thing we're here to talk about.
This one, we're going to need 2 mop buckets for this house.
Ooh.
This is the double mop bucket.
What an extravagant situation we got here.
All right. Oh, no. All right. So I was thinking about this. My dream house Okay, this is weird.
It better be weird.
Full on fantasy. Okay.
I demand it.
And we were talking about golf earlier.
Yep.
So, all right, my property is a giant acreage right on the ocean, Northern California. Mm-hmm. Okay, right on the ocean. Half of it is a fully operational farm manned by robots.
Of course.
Okay.
The only people you don't feel bad about making work for you.
Totally sustainable.
Yep.
Solar-powered robots. The other half...
Solar-powered, huh?
Sure.
Are they all Jewish? They have little yarmulkes made out of solar things? You're like, look, they have yarmulkes.
That's clever. I didn't think about that.
Oy, we'll
consider it. We'll consider it. Ooh, these cows are stinky. Other half of my property is oceanfront, Pebble Beach style golf course.
Nice.
Okay. Beautiful golf course right on the ocean. Then there's a clubhouse. That's like the clubhouse for the golf course, but it's also my clubhouse. So I got like a little bar in there. I got a little restaurant, a little pro shop,
pro shop, yeah.
All my shit. But, okay, that's right on the water, and it's on a cliff. And the cliff is like 100 feet above the water. Now, my house is like a hotel built into the side of that cliff.
Cool.
Okay?
Yeah.
And the clubhouse is on top of it. So, like, there's some point in the clubhouse, like, in where you drive in, and then you take an elevator down into...
Yeah.
You come down to my, like, 10-story... I mean, it's like 10 stories tall, all the way down to the water. But it's not like 10 stories, because some stories are taller than the others. Top floor is an entire entertainment space. Mm-hmm. All right, now the other thing is, so it's built into the side of this cliff, so everything has an ocean view. But, and this is a thing I'm borrowing from my parents' house, which I love about my parents' house. My parents' house has a huge screen-in porch. So it's like a hotel built into the side of the cliff, and like a hotel, like every room has like a balcony area.
Yeah.
And all the balconies have retractable screens. The screens are solar-powered. And they are also like solar panels. So that's where we're getting all the electricity to power my 10-story hotel house.
Nice.
Okay, so top floor, all entertainment. We've got like a bar. We've got like a little lounge. We've got like a kid Buster, like Dave and Buster's area.
Yeah.
Whole top floor, all entertainment. No, actually, I'm sorry. That's the second floor. Top floor, all living spaces. So there's no one walking above you. So the top floor, all living spaces, huge master bedroom, huge master bath.
Describe it.
My bathroom, big, like not quite like Francis and Pee-wee's Big Adventure bathtub.
The pool?
But yeah.
Where are they hosing him down?
Yeah, he basically has a pool. I don't want it that big, but I want it big.
Yeah.
I mean, enough that you can drain it daily. Because I was thinking about like how often is Francis changing the water in that?
It's very impractical.
It is. And I'm trying to think of my environmental footprint.
That's very kind.
So, well, we'll get to the desalinization plant. That's lower.
You can take a saltwater bath. That'd probably be real nice, right? Get out all dried.
We could have both.
Right?
So, yeah, giant bathtub, TVs. I want some sort of waterproof computer system that I could operate from the bathtub.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
You know?
Be on your laptop with it floating next to you.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. I'm going to spend a lot of time in the bathtub.
Dude, I love taking baths. I took one the other day.
Yeah, I take a bath almost every day.
Oh, it's the best.
Big fan of a bath.
Big fan.
Live in fear of dropping my phone in the bathtub, or my computer.
Dude, I just got a new phone, and like I've always get my wife's hand-me-downs, and I'm careful with those. But man, my newest phone, I'm just like, stay away from me. Like if someone gets near with food, I'm like, get away from this phone. Get away from this phone. Like,
okay, so
I did not pay the extra whatever $200
for the insurance
or whatever. Yeah,
I did because I was playing Pokemon Go for a while. In full disclosure, and by a while I mean currently, and I dropped my phone like 3 times in 6 months.
Oh, okay. From playing that game?
Mm-hmm, from playing that game, and had to like get my screen fixed. So when I got a new phone, I paid the
It's insane how much we pay for phones. I mean, they do a lot, but it's funny. Like in the old days, you would buy a phone for $25 at Target and be like, it's Garfield or it's a cheeseburger. And it's so cool. And now it's like, that'll be $1,000. Like, huh? Like, are we ever going to retire in this generation?
Where's Garfield on this?
Yeah. It's not even shaped like something novel. It's just a phone.
Do you have it in a cheeseburger form?
That's right.
I'd feel better about this $1,200 purchase if it looked like something I could eat. Ridiculous. So, all right.
I bet they have a really cool cheeseburger case though for iPhones. Like the back of it, you
Oh,
get it at
sure
like a Japanese like novelty store or something like that. It's
Definitely.
it's like 8 pounds. It's huge. You can only fit into a
Doesn't
purse.
fit in your pocket.
It can only fit
like-
into a purse. Yeah. I knew someone had like a pineapple case for their phone. That was like it was literally like double the size of your phone. I was like, that's a really large thing to have to hold up to your ear to talk to somebody. Okay.
Okay.
Enough riffing. Now back to the serious show,
back to
Fantasy
my-
House.
my
Very serious show.
So I don't know if I have any like specs for my bedroom, you know.
Just like close your eyes and just paint a picture for us. Like imagine we're on MTV Cribs and I'm here with the film crew. Like,
Well, it's got a huge screen-in porch.
Okay.
I almost feel like the bed might be right up on the porch.
okay, that's cool.
Big bed.
Big bed, Parliament.
Yeah, TVs.
Okay. What color is the walls? Is it just
I would like a. Oh, there's also a brewery somewhere on the grounds of my house. I don't
Okay.
know where it is. Could be up. I don't know. Could be by the golf course. There's a brewery.
okay? With those big tanks. Mm-hmm. Do you have like a guy that has a really well kept beard?
Very well kept beard.
And
huge, but well kept.
He does all the hop stuff.
He's making the best West Coast IPAs in all
Dude,
of California.
So hoppy, you're not even gonna like it.
Dude.
It's that hoppy.
No, they're not too hoppy. They're nice balance.
Okay.
Like 6.7%. So yeah, there's some sort of bar in my bedroom.
Okay. In your bedroom? Very romantic.
Or drunk. Or alcoholic. What a romantic alcoholic.
Well, there's something romantic about being an alcoholic, you see.
You have to have a lot of love.
They go with the flow. There's one thing about alcoholics. They generally go with the flow, at least in the good point of being drunk.
So yeah, I think that's imperative in my bedroom. Nice entertainment center.
You got a bathroom. in there.
What I also want, great closet, and I want like some sort of, you said we can invent things.
Oh, yeah, dude.
I want like some sort of thing where it's like a laundry machine where you just like throw it in and it just like washes it,
Yeah.
presses it, puts it on a hanger and sends it down like a little conveyor belt right into the appropriate space.
Dude, you want to know what's funny? Is I don't know if anybody, and correct me if I'm wrong, listeners, I don't know if anybody has had anything exotic for an actual laundry machine. And I love doing laundry when I have time to do it, but when I don't have time to do it, then it's a huge nuisance.
Yeah, so I mean, this is like, it's just like your own, it's like a dry cleaning machine built into one.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay.
That's very adult of you.
Well, you know, I was thinking this through.
Yeah.
And we're getting all the water comes from the desalination plant, which is on the lower level. We'll
So
get
there's
to
no
that.
guilt involved here.
No, this is guilt. And we're off the grid. You
Yeah.
know, we're off the grid. That's our thing. So when the shit hits the fan, you know, I'm not in favor of Trump's wall, but we're gonna have a huge wall.
Your own wall?
We're gonna have a beautiful wall around my compound, 30 feet. And then 30 feet up, 30 feet down, just to prevent tunneling onto the property.
Yeah.
So that's important.
Shefsky here. Hey, you guys know I'm not just a fantasy real estate agent. I'm a really real real estate agent. That's right. In real life in Southern California, I am a realtor. So hit me up if you want to talk about houses, condos, multifamily apartment buildings. If you want to sell a house, buy a house, fantasyhousepodcast@gmail.com or on Instagram at JONSHEFSKY. Why not? You know what I'm saying? Real estate. It's really fun. All right, guys. Back to the show.
Then I think the next level down would be sort of like an entertainment center level, in-home theater.
What would we be watching if you're like, this is my theater?
You know, nothing in particular.
Just got to be one thing. You have to pick it. We're here with the film crew. We're like, we're filming our episode. What are we going to play?
What are we going to play?
It could be anything, too, by the way. It doesn't have to be comedy or...
I think sports. Yeah, I'd have, Iowa. I'm an Iowa fan, so I'd have classic Iowa sporting events being played, looping nonstop.
That's great, looping in the home theater.
So that'd be on that level. I feel like then the next level down is gonna be like my fitness level. I want a basketball court, but I also want to be able to press a button and like ping pong tables come up from the floor, along with little barriers So we get like 4 ping pong tables on my basketball court.
Championship.
So we can get like a round robin tournament going. We got barriers up in between the 4 courts. So there's balls kind of containing the balls.
Yep. Gotta contain the balls.
Gotta contain the balls. Otherwise, they go everywhere.
They can go anywhere.
I'd like an indoor horseshoe pit.
Ooh.
An indoor bowling alley.
I love that. Indoor horseshoe pit, though.
Yeah,
Man.
doesn't that sound nice?
Yeah.
With like self-raking like sand.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that. It could either be like a rake that comes out and levels the sand, or it could be like sort of like a thing that agitates it.
It vibrates it
and then the sand just settles back into place.
The vibrating thing would be fun. Because you could like lay down in it when you are drunk and be like, hey, check this out. You're not, I don't know if you're supposed to do that, man. That'd be really fun for the Cribs episode. I love horseshoes. That's great.
Like that.
That's a good. Horseshoes is a great game for a simple-minded fellow like myself. I'm like, I don't really have much to wrap my head around here. I'm going to throw the horseshoes. I really love horseshoes.
Horseshoes is great.
At my grandparents' house, at that park by their house. Kids don't play enough horseshoes these days. That's the problem. All right, so we're like, what are we, 4 levels in?
We're like 4 levels in now.
Because you got 6 levels left, dog.
And then now I think, well, no, that's the thing though. Like the basketball court's taken up.
Oh, okay.
At least 2 levels.
Okay.
I think the home theater is probably taken up 2 levels.
Okay.
All
right.
living.
Listen,
So yeah, then we're getting down to, I think then it's like a kitchen area.
Yeah.
With a huge kitchen. Probably taking up half the structure. Like I feel like the structure is going like east to west, like 100 miles, 100 yards, 100 yards, 100 yards. So I would say half of the eating level is the kitchen, and I could go on for days about what I want in my dream kitchen.
Do it.
I want every sort of cooking surface imaginable, flat top. I want charcoal grill. I want a gas grill. I want wood-fired grill.
Just the whole.
I want a wood, like a pizza oven. Yes. I want deep fat fryers. I want like, what is it called? Like where you can cook it in water.
Oh,
like
sous vide?
Yeah,
like a little sous vide tub.
Station.
It's a tub. I'm sitting in it next to.
I want a nice
next to some duck.
Like a butcher block island. I was
this
thinking about
jacuzzi's
this.
amazing. You're like, that's my sous vide machine. You're like, hi. Someone else like, this duck tastes weird.
I want like a butcher block island.
Yep.
I was thinking it'd be cool to have like some sort of like projections system that projects recipes from the ceiling down onto
Oh yeah,
the butcher block.
That's cool.
Right.
Just like you'd have a projector onto a screen, but you could have it like straight down onto your butcher block.
So
you're like, oh shit, garlic.
Oh, shit.
Okay. Oh, that's genius.
There could also be some sort of like Siri, involvement where it's like you're missing the, so and so.
Well, you got your Jewish robot thing. Like, I don't know a lot about cooking, but there's something you need paprika. You're missing paprika.
I hate to nag.
Sorry to bother you. That's too much salt for me.
Another machine I was thinking needs to be invented is a machine that I can put a whole clove of garlic into, or like a whole head of garlic.
Yep.
And then it just peels it and then minces it and then.
Oh yeah, just gives it to you fresh right there. Mm-hmm. And I know they have that already, but you got to have a sleeker, sexier, consumer level version of that.
That thing exists?
It has to, because they've been doing. They sell fully minced garlic in huge quantities. There's no way they pay people to chop those things up into little pieces. I know that they've got that. They have to. They simply must.
Well, we should look into that. Because, it's possible, but it probably takes up half a factory.
Yeah. But if you think about how many garlics...
Well, I want a little countertop.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They need a consumer level one that's the size of like a little Mac.
Yeah, like the size of like a Keurig machine.
Yeah, exactly. What else? Is there anything else in this?
I said deep fat fryer.
What would you be frying?
Ice cream machine.
What would you be frying in the deep?
A lot of chicken wings.
Yeah,
chicken wings for sure.
Like bone on, like chicken wings, like buffalo style, maybe. Or
yeah, I make a really good Thai garlic one with some fish sauce.
Ooh, fish sauce so good.
Fish sauce so good.
Fish sauce so good.
Yeah, and then I think below that you got just a lot of you got your desalinization plant, which is going to take up a lot of space. All of your plumbing. You got to have some guts. You just gotta have some guts to the house.
You can't just have a house with no guts.
I don't live. It's my dream house, but it's not a fantasy world.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand.
You're so practical.
We're gonna need some stuff down there: a furnace, air conditioning, all that stuff. And then I think the bottom 2 levels is like a cave kind of thing that opens up on the water, where you can boat into it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like. And then there's maybe I forgot there's a pet level.
Pet level? That's where the pets are allowed?
Yeah, there's half of it, or maybe 2/3 of it is just a dog playland, where you just got about a dozen dogs. They got their little houses. Oh. They've got just all kinds of dog toys, things that just throw balls at them all day, just little air cannons that are just shooting balls out at these.
These dogs are just living in this joy.
They're living in pure joy. There's little Roomba robots going around cleaning up after them. And then the other third is,
the Roomba robot sucking up the
my chameleon habitat. I think. Do you remember when I had a chameleon?
Yeah, totally.
I've had chameleons, and I would love to just have a little mini rainforest
for them to just chill out.
Where there's just a couple dozen chameleons living.
A couple dozen comedians. I mean, chameleons living.
Well, no, that's my next level. So this is sort of
underneath the plumbing.
This is like a Road Rules house where I invite 20 of the hottest up and coming comedians
and watch them destroy your fantasy house.
We have a comedy club, and then every night they do a show, and then whoever's the least funny gets thrown over the side into the ocean.
And they just swim right back into that cave thing.
And they do.
Hey, I'm back. I think I left a shoe up there or something.
Yeah, so I think that's the house.
Dude, that's badass. I love it.
So just going to put a bucket out and make that thing happen.
That's right. Way to tie it together, huh?
Thank you.
All I need now is a bucket. I think if you guys take anything from this episode, get your bucket together.
Get a bucket out. Write new house on it. See what happens.
Dude, I think it's actually you just kind of just pushed it into a realm that I think actually is important. Saving up your cash and budgeting your cash. When I was a kid, my mom used to always tell me. She's a baby boomer, so she's really funny and completely just silly and just where Mom, what are you talking about? So she always loved Tony Robbins and all that kind of stuff. And I was always like, that is the dumbest shit ever. And now I'm in my 30s and I was like, there was some good points that some of those people made. Man, you really should wake up in the morning and be thankful to be alive. Or there's just silly things or things that you think you're silly at one point in your life. They're I guess that guy was right. And one of the things my mom tried to show me that I was like, get away from me with your dumb shit, was when I'm a punk rocker. You're an idiot, Mom. I didn't say that to her, but I was just get away from me with that turd crap culture shit. It was T. Harv Eker. It's this he's a financial guy. I don't know much more about him, but he had this way that you save money up. And he had this whole, basically a really cool layout for how you, percentage wise, how you divvy up every time you get money. So whatever it's from, whether you have a job or you find a $10 bill on the ground, whatever it is, you give 5% to charity, 5% to gifts for friends, 10% for your personal education, 10% for savings. So you divvy it up. So I just in the past couple of years started actually being what was it? Came to my head because I was reading something else about learning how to save and how to invest money, and your bucket just totally reminded me of that and how important. And that thing, I use it for everything, dude. I got $50 or something at the beginning of the year and was and I did all the calculations for this $50,
really?
Down to the change, and then put it into three different, or was it 5? It might be 5. I don't know. Look it up online, folks. But it's I put everything into those envelopes, even in the change part. I was all right, this 75 cents goes into
Have
this.
you kept it up?
Yeah. Huh. I use it with my actual paychecks, and it's great. And I think that's just, I don't know. You remind me of that with the bucket, and I was man, saving up and with the intention of these different things. Education is such a cool thing that you think, I'm done with college, but it's dude, I just went to an apartment investing workshop in Virginia last month, and I was that was education. So I took that out of that savings to pay for my ticket and everything to go there, and then. Instead of getting, I don't know if you get emotional with money. I know I certainly do, where I'm I'm spending all my cash. I'm broke now, whatever. But this way is I partitioned it up to where I knew this is for this. I saved it in this education envelope. I've been given authority from this guy from the internet.
Do you have a baseball card envelope? Or
You could. Oh, that goes under your. There's the name of that envelope. There's like pleasures or play or whatever. It's like for your
what
fun
percentage
stuff.
is it?
I want to say it's 10%. So I think there's like emergency savings is 10%. Necessities is the biggest one. Necessities is like 50 or 55%. So that's like paying your mortgage, paying your rent, paying your.
What about beer?
That would probably go. Well, it depends how big of a necessity. I would say that beer would go into your
fun.
It would go under fun. Unless you use the beer really as a meal. Then you'd be like, well, that's under necessity. That's my groceries. You could totally lie to yourself, too. You could easily like be like, this is education, man. Every time I drink, I come up with new ideas.
Well, I work at a bar that sells beer, so every time I try a new beer, I'm doing research for my job.
That's true.
All right. I like this system.
I just taught you how to rationalize spending money on beer.
Yep.
You're like, honey, it's education. It comes from the education envelope.
You are stymieing my education here.
But honestly, do try it. I think it's
all right.
It's
what's his name?
It's T. Harv Eker, but I know there's
Harv Eker.
Yeah, like T. Harv Harv Eker. If you Google it, you'll see him. But he's just one of the guys. If you go to like Dave Ramsey or any like the financial guru dudes, they all have those guys. Suze Orman had one. Like they all have it. But they're all loosely the same. The important thing I think is about like budgeting and learning how to be like, like the difference between like, saving for your vacation or saving for your like medical emergencies. Like there's different ways to budget those. And it's pretty interesting. It really comes down to that in a lot of things too. Like in the apartment world, I know that one of the big things that makes it like the good investors come in and be able to take over like a crappily run apartment building is most of the people that used to own apartment buildings would consider everything that they were making beyond the mortgage, the debt service for that apartment they would consider like, oh man, this is my cash flow, this is profit. It's like,
right.
Dude, your profit's way smaller than that. You should be saving for capital expenses. There's like all these things to be saving for. And so you start realizing like in so many ways that people are successful with money or with business, it's like, it's because they are not expecting the profit that like the layman that I was thinking like, oh man, every time Jimmy John sells a sub, they're making $3 on that $4 sub or $6 sub. Right. It's like, no, they're if they're staying in business this long, they're probably making like 80 cents, and the rest of it's going into different forms of saving and investing accounts
right.
to
and
keep the business afloat for rainy days and like, insurance, getting sued. Oh, the building flooded and it cost $10,000. Like, well, we saved for that. That's why Jimmy John doesn't have 3 houses. Or he probably does actually now.
He probably does.
He probably has 12 houses.
He's a terrible person.
Is he really?
Oh yeah, he's a big game hunter.
He's a big gay hunter?
Big game hunter.
Hi, I'm Jimmy John. That sounds like the perfect character. Hi, I'm Jimmy John. I'm just a big gay hunter. Bang, bang. I took down a couple big ones yesterday, if you know what I mean. Shot him up good.
No,
he's a big
kills elephants. And
why would you kill an elephant? It hurts when you see like
you've sold enough subs to think that you're entitled to do that.
That's a weird thing to kill, though. They're smart. It's one thing if you're like, I'm going to go shoot some oysters. You're like,
shoot some oysters.
You know, like, well, why would you kill an elephant? They're smart.
I wonder what knows. You should start shooting oysters,
right?
Like to them, like
skeet them.
Yeah,
like you shoot. You fling oysters out of a skeet. That'd be hilarious. Someone would be like, "That's cruel." Like, it's an oyster. It doesn't know. It's a piece of meat grown in a lab, basically God's lab. But still, it doesn't know.
Lab.
But yeah, I don't know why you'd shoot an elephant. That just seems.
He shoots lions. I don't know exactly what he shoots, but
you're all just listing stuff off.
Right.
He shot a unicorn.
Unicorn.
Those aren't even real.
He shot the last living dodo bird.
Oh, bird. I don't know. There's a primal sense though, because I've known some good people that are hunters that like just hunt a bunch of stuff, and it's like they have the need to just go out and like, I've got to kill to make it for my family, survive to the winter. And you're like, we're all right. We're all right now.
All those subs back there.
Yeah. I think it's a weird urge, but I don't know, the urge to kill. NBD. NBD. It's just the urge to kill. Everyone, go back inside. Nothing to see here. It's just the urge to kill.
Just expressing an urge.
I can't imagine how someone would want to kill an elephant, dude. Whales too. It breaks my heart when I find out that they hunt whales, and you're like, they're actually really smart. They talk to each other. That's enough to, and they're not talking. And nothing against cats and dogs. I love my cats. I love dogs, but like they're like having full on conversations.
Right.
Like you know what I mean? from what the scientists
That
say.
we can figure out what they're saying. Yeah.
But no one trusts scientists these days either. They're like, scientists are just losers and idiots. You're like, I think we have it backwards. I thought they were the smart ones. Scientists know.
They had a good run.
Scientists? R.I.P. scientists.
Step aside, scientists.
Step
we
aside.
got this.
Yeah.
You got us this far. Prayer couldn't just get us the rest of the way, so thank you.
Thank you, scientists.
Thank you. We got this from
The
here.
only scientist I need is the
It's
Lord.
the one looking down at me from the sky right now.
That's
okay?
right. You mean the one that created the scientist that you don't trust?
And he's rolling his eyes at you right now, scientists. Your hubris is shocking.
Oh, dude. Jesus rolling his eyes at you.
Look at him. Christ is rolling his eyes at you right now. I can hear him.
Oh, dude. Where can people find you?
People can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Holmes Jokes.
How do you spell Holmes, though? Because
HOLMES.
that's why I wanted to have you spell it. Because the L.
The silent L.
Yeah. For a second,
Like the silent majority. Okay, we're out here.
we out here with these big gay hunters.
So yeah, they can find me there. They can find me bartending in Echo Park.
Yeah.
At Sunset Beer. And they can find me running various TV shows and movie.
When you guys watch
Twitter
the DVD
accounts.
of Rambo,
Think of me.
think of Mike Holmes.
Okay. The war has come to your doorstep.
Is that one of the quotes?
I don't know. It's possibly.
Is that
One of- Right.
It's violent conflict resolution is the only way to solve problems.
It's fun. It's fun.
Thank you guys
Dude,
for
thanks for
listening.
having me.
Dude, thank you for being here, dude. It's freaking awesome. Great fantasy house. Great seeing you. Great riffage. Oh, I loved it. Had so much fun. Guys, thank you for listening. If you're a new listener, hit the share button. Hit the subscribe button. Don't hit yourself or others. Let's keep it nonviolent, folks. But hit one of those buttons, though. Give us a 5-star review. If you're a long-time listener, first-time caller, dog, share this motherfucking puppy with somebody you know. Hit it. Hit the share button right meow. I know that you're not all doing it because you're driving and operating heavy machinery, but pull the fuck over and press the share button. Send this to your cousin. Be like, what's up, cousin? I love you. We're part of that same family tree. Check out Fantasy House with Mike Holmes. Do it. And everybody else, thank you guys so much for everything, and all of our current reviews and people that are sharing it. Thank you so much. Makes my day. Be silly, have fun. #blessed guest.